Hi, this is Chris Young, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate how I controlled an iPad 2 using just 3 micro switches and an Adafruit Bluefruit Micro device. Here's a photo of the kind of micro switches that I'm using. I hold them in my right hand. This photo shows 4 buttons, but in this example I'm really only using 3 buttons. This is an Adafruit Bluefruit Micro processor. It contains an Atmel 32U4 similar to Arduino Leonardo. The micro switches I showed earlier are wired into 3 of the input pins. The processor scans the buttons and then sends a code from the Bluetooth device to the iOS device as if it were a key press. The switch access features of iOS interpret those key presses to scan through various menu items or icons and then select the one that you want. Here's a demonstration of me typing a message on my Facebook page using an iPad 2. This is a demonstration of the switch scanning features of iOS 9 on an iPad 2. I have 3 micro switches in my hand that I'm using to scan forwards, backwards, or select. Here I've selected Facebook app and I'm going to type a message. I already note that the first word, I'm, is already in the predictive section, so I click on that. Now I'm going to have to type out a word. It scans each row of the keyboard, and then it separates that row into groups of 4 characters each. The predictive typing feature really speeds things up. All I had to do was type TYP, and it gave me the entire word typing. The word this was already in the prediction, so it went really quickly. For the word message, I had to get MESS, and there's message. If you go too far in the scanning, there's a back button. Sometimes I have to go back. For people that can't use multiple buttons, there are also single switch options that automatically scan forward, and then you use one switch to select. There are also ways you can use long presses and short presses to get various functions. We have to switch to the number section now. This video is recording in real time. I did not speed it up any. I didn't realize that when I select an automatic word, it's automatically putting a space in afterwards. But when I type the number 3, of course it didn't put a space after that. So now I have to hit the backspace key in the upper right. And now I go down and hit the space bar and to continue with the message. You notice there's a microphone icon. I probably could have dictated this message, but I wanted to show how the switch scanning features work. I wasn't paying attention and forgot to put two N's in connected. I was hoping that it would autocorrect, but it didn't figure it out. So I went ahead and backspaced a couple. I kept thinking the word connect would pop up in the predictive section. So now I try to backspace. I've only been using this feature about an hour or two, so my scanning skills aren't very good yet. This is very similar to a program I wrote back in 1981 called VersaScan. It ran on an old 8-bit computer running the CP/M operating system. A friend of mine would use a clicking sound with his tongue to activate it. He wasn't able to use push buttons like I can. Now I'm going to hit the word connect. It's going to put a space after it. I will backspace over the space and then hit the letter E for connected. And that was enough to tell the prediction what I wanted to do. Connected. Good guess. When you say connect, you want to connect to something. And when you connect to a something. And we're going to type Bluetooth here. Android operating system also has switch control, but it doesn't work as well as iOS. There are a lot of features that it doesn't have. I've tried using it on my Android phone, and it seemed to be a little bit unstable. Occasionally it would lock up on me. I need to play around with it a little bit more. I may end up getting an iPhone instead of an Android phone. When I get my new wheelchair, I may have the ability to do this using the same joystick that I would use to drive instead of using the push buttons. Although I kind of like the push buttons, and I think once I get used to it, it will go even faster. iOS 9 has a lot of different accessibility features. In addition to the row and column scanning, there are ways to scan the screen without actually selecting items. It's sort of like a crosshairs. It scans back and forth, up and down, and it will let you click anywhere you want, even if it's not a menu item or a button. Our message is complete with the period here. And then we will go back out of the keyboard and select the post button. And that ends our demonstration.